So kick back and listen, it'll make your grin. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, yeah. It's time for listener emails, comments and stuff they send in. So kick back and listen, it'll make you grin. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah.
Set wanted to do away with Osiris, so he had him cut up into 14 pieces. Now his body's cut up into 14 pieces, it gets thrown into the Nile River, and Isis, of course, isn't happy about this. Isis tries to collect all the pieces up, and she's only able to find 13 pieces. So she fashions together those 13 pieces to form a more perfect union, which is the framework of our 13 colonies, a more perfect union, based off of the myth of Osiris. Now that's showing Egyptian magic even in the framework and the fabric of our foundation, right? It's not an accident that they brought together 13 colonies to form a more perfect union. That was all by design. It was all manufactured. But what's crazy is that she fashions together these 13 pieces, but guess what piece is missing? So what do? They set up this ritual. That's what the obelisk is, by the way. The obelisk represents the 14th piece that they couldn't find. You find it in the Vatican, you find it in ancient Egypt, you find it here in the States, you find it all over cemeteries, you find it all over the Masonic lodges. It represents the Osiris. And they believe by setting up this ritual, now it's all a recreation of the original ritual that took place between Isis and the 13 pieces of Osiris. The Washington Monument and the Dome of Isis, which is the Capitol building. Now this is fascinating because the original ritual had to take place between what we would, in a courtyard, between a dome and an obelisk. Putting those two together like that creates a power generator. Literally a generator for this ritual. And the idea is that the seed of Osiris, the seed, is going to come up and emit out of Washington Monument, and it's going to take over whoever our president is. Now this sounds crazy, but think about this. In ancient Egypt, what had happened was the Pharaoh would go through this ritual, he would enter in a man, and he would exit the ritual a god. That was their belief. And they believed that their pharaoh was literally the embodiment of Osiris because of that ritual. They were calling him up out of the underworld. So what we have in America is this same ritual, basically, that the Freemasons believe that they have maintained the proper language and the ritual to a T from the ancient world. They claim to have this still today. They're right there between the dome and the obelisk, right there in that power generator, and right around the corner at the Herodome, which is what they call the Masonic Mecca of the world, literally. The Herodome is this temple, this massive, crazy temple in D.C. They are up there while they do this ritual, and they are literally doing the raising of Osiris ritual while the presidential inauguration happens at every election. And they are literally calling on the spirit of Osiris to raise up, or Apollo, however you want to slice it, to come out of the underworld and to possess, exits the ritual, a god. Wow. This is what the Freemasons believe. Now, people are going to say, well, not every president's a Freemason. Well, most of them have ties to secret societies, but they're not all conscious of the ritual. It's been going on now since the beginning, to our knowledge, since the beginning of this nation being set up. They believe that it's going to stick eventually. See, they don't know which president is going to be the final Osiris. Now, they believed in the foundation of this nation that Washington was a type. He was the first Osiris. Technically, every president in their eyes is an Osiris. But the crazy thing is that not every time the ritual is going to stick. They have to keep doing it until it actually sticks, and they get that one that they've been waiting for. This is kind of like when we talk about Babylon working. You know, how many years, was Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard working in the desert trying to get this ritual to stick? They do this at the inauguration of every U.S. president because they believe there is going to come a time in a president that will be the one. He will be the one, and they will go through this ritual when his body lies in state in the Capitol Dome. I believe they're going to do this ritual, and that final raising ritual, that's going to be the one that's going to stick. I don't believe it's going to stick when they're doing it at an inauguration. The real one's going to take place when this Antichrist man dies. They lay him in state in the Capitol building beneath the 72 pentagrams and the apotheosis of George Washington. And that's not it. There's so much more numerology about the Capitol building and the 13 statues and the statutory hall. But I believe that's the real ritual. That's the one where he's going to raise, where the spirit of Osiris, which the Bible talks about this Apollyon coming up from the bottomless pit.
So, you want to get weird? Let's get weird. Welcome to my brain. You see where we're at, right? The beam of blue. Step 1. Breaking down all of the archaeological knowledge by faking earthquakes. I did a series of videos on volcanoes and earthquakes. If you're on the clock app here, the playlist is right there, natural disasters. If you didn't see it, let's just say they might not be exactly what they tell us they are. Step 2. Gigantic space show in 3-dimensional holographic laser projections. Now, not only did I show you that not only have they figured out how to all out just trick the eye with optical illusions, that along with drones and everything else that's in the sky, a certain company has all these sensors throughout the Pacific Ocean that we don't even know the capabilities of. So it's getting hard to trust even the things we see with our own eyes. And remember. Step 3. Telepathic electronic two-way communication, which involves making people think their God is speaking to them. And not only did I just show you they have the tech to put voices inside our head, but do we really know the capabilities of the speaker on our cell phone?
Elijah, can you hear the speaker? Yeah, I can hear it. Somehow, my microphone picks up nothing right next to it, but Elijah can hear it from down the road. Now, sound waves are always directional to a degree, but this thing is on a whole other level. Perhaps magic?
Step 4. First part. Making humanity think an alien invasion is about to occur in every major city. Well, first we got the NG rollout in 19 different states. Don't ruin my video with your politics. I'll start handing out blocks like early Christmas presents. It's not about that. No matter what the reason, that's gonna cause panic. People panicking are easy to manipulate. And then of course we got the mothership on its way.
A newly discovered comet is creating a buzz in both the scientific and speculative circles.
Some are calling it a rare interstellar visitor. Others say it could be something much more.
And then of course there's the whole rapture's coming. Cue Peter Pan in his whole 4-hour lecture about you know what. So I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go get some more popcorn. Stay safe.
For those who do not know about water, this may freak you out. Veda Austin has stumbled upon some pretty wild stuff. She let salt water evaporate in a petri dish with a pyramid in it, and the salt water crystallized into little mini pyramids. Now to test this, she used the same salt water and let it evaporate without the pyramid, and it formed its normal cubical shape. Now water is pretty unique in the universe. If you get it in your car motor, it'll lock it up and bend all the metal, and it's also how we turn turbines in coal plants. It exists in all 3 states on the planet, and it is a very powerful solvent. Its molecules are shaped like hexagons, and we see this when it freezes. This means that anything that is dissolved in it can be stored in it, which is why you should always filter and realign your water if you can. I've shown you through cymatics that your DNA also shares this same shape, and using cymatics, we can read it like a song. If Veda left this in a quiet room, it's probably resonating at the Schumann resonance, about 7 hertz, the resonance of the planet. When that crystal vibrates, it transmits that vibration to the salt crystals via the water. There's a fantastic research paper on this by Hal Science. They transmitted an entire genetic sequence through water using 7 hertz. They put 2 beakers of water next to each other. One was pure water, one was DNA. They then subjected them both to 7 hertz and waited 18 hours. After using a polymerase reaction, they recreated the DNA. If that wasn't enough, a team of researchers made a hard drive using the same technique. It stored the data of 2 trillion CDs in a gram, and it read it 10,000 times faster.
Today. Who's Tony Blair's mouthpiece? Because Tony Blair wants this because he's going to make zillions from it, by the way. It's the only thing he talks about. There is only one line in this whole article which, for me, is absolutely critical, and that is that it's going to be so easy to do all of the things that you've just said. You can even collect your supermarket loyalty points on it. Yeah. That is the scariest line in that whole article. Yeah. You know why? Because eventually, Kai, when we have this whole thing where you can't do anything in society without your digital ID, not only will you be able to collect your supermarket points on it, which sounds all lovely, when you've eaten too much beef because you've overstepped your carbon footprint, it won't let you buy it at the tills. When you go to fill up your car, it won't let you put petrol in. And when you haven't been a nice person online, it won't let you get on an airplane. This is the start of a social credit system. It's wrong, and everybody should say no, and I will say no. We have a passport. They know who I am. That's enough. OK, the fact that you want to put the decline of this country on the fact that there's a bit of paper washing around is laughable.
I'm not saying it's all about that.
Down to your Chancellor, nothing else. But apart from that, the problem with digital ID, and I read this article by Pat McFadden today, who's Tony Blair's mouthpiece, because Tony
time for listener emails, comments, and stuff they send in. So kick back